Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So we'll jump straight in here and I'll start with this one just because it relates to Comic-Con and Avatar to a certain degree. So you can see here all the major studios, including Paramount, are skipping film panels at Comic-Con this year. So basically what that means, I suppose, for Avatar, the Avatar movie, is it just means, I guess, there's not going to be a big news blowout about The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender at Comic-Con this year. Now, to be fair, I don't think we will be expecting that in the first place, even if this news wasn't a thing, because of how early it is. The movie is October 2026, we're not even in October 2025, it's way too early for there to be a sort of film panel from Paramount, like heavy appearance from it. Now, does that completely rule out the idea that if there are other Avatar panels, like maybe a podcast panel or a publishing panel, that we, does it rule out that there will be mentions of Avatar Studios related stuff? Not really. It just means Paramount and giant news about it are not going to happen. I still could see, at say like if they do have a Brave in the Elements panel, Janet and Dante being given like a piece of information just to kind of keep the conversation going, just to give a little bit of an update at a big public place, just to highlight that, hey, it's happening, it exists, more coming over the next kind of couple of months type thing. So yeah, this is kind of, I think, notable news in the sense that, like, okay, take down the expectations, the slight expectations for, like, maybe they will say something about Avatar Studios. Probably highly unlikely at this point. It obviously is completely irrelevant about, like, the publishing panel. Like, this doesn't mean anything about a publishing panel or a podcast panel. So it just probably means that those are still the likely ones to happen. We still don't have the schedule yet. We're still waiting for that to happen, but just that's the situation there. Next, Avatar Magic: The Gathering. We have from various distributors of the product what the lineup of products is going to be for Avatar Magic: The Gathering. Now, I don't know if this is the full lineup, just because there is a very noticeable absentee here of Avatar Commander decks. Now, they were never confirmed to be a thing, but I think everyone just expected them because Final Fantasy got them. Interestingly, the Spider-Man set, which is being done a little bit differently, didn't get them. So everyone kind of felt like, well, so Avatar surely is going to get Commander decks in that case. And I think people are still kind of feeling like, well, we get a certain amount of Commander decks in a year. If they don't have them in this set, what are they doing? So maybe it is just being treated separately to a certain degree. But either way, right now, based on the early information that we have, which is just from distributors' product listings, we don't even have pictures or anything like that. They're not here right now. We'll see what happens in the future. So let's just go through this. I'm not going to go into crazy detail just because we don't have images to really look at. I'll just explain what some of this stuff is, because it is a decent lineup of products for a TCG set. So just to quickly read it out, and then I'll go through it a little bit more. So beginner box, we've got a bundle. This is collector booster box, gift edition bundle, jumpstart 2-pack, jumpstart booster box, play booster box, pre-release carton, and scene box carton. So you can see there are 3 different booster products. So you can see we're going to get play booster, jumpstart booster, and collector booster. So play and collector were absolutely locked in. Given that this is a standard set, just using an IP, it was always going to get a play booster, which is your standard booster pack for Magic: The Gathering. And these days, they're always accompanied by a collector booster, which is a much more expensive booster pack where you have a much better chance, like it's almost guaranteed with the way the packs are laid out. You get the higher kind of value cards, you get the fancy art, alternate art versions of the cards there. I don't think there are any mechanically unique cards in collector boosters compared to play boosters, but they are vastly more expensive packs, to the point where, like, I think people will be put off by how expensive they actually are. So yeah, they're the 2 standard ones. The third type of booster pack, I don't think we were expecting this really at all, especially with no commander, but in a way with no commander, maybe this is why this actually makes sense. So what a jumpstart pack is, because you'll notice here they have a booster box and then they also are selling them as like packs of 2. That makes complete sense because of what Jumpstart is. The idea is you take 2 packs of Jumpstart, you shuffle them together, and you instantly have a deck. So it takes the kind of deck building confusion out of it and makes for, hey, immediately from opening packs to playing is a very, very quick thing. That's the whole part of it being Jumpstart. So what it means is each pack is a kind of specifically constructed like half deck that is of a specific theme. So the previous time they did this last year, this is probably why they're doing it here. They seem to want to have a Jumpstart set out for the end of the year. Foundations is what they did last time. And just as an example of what a Jumpstart pack is going to be, you can see here, the first theme that they have here is Prideful. It's all in white and it's cat themed, of course. So if you look at the actual list of, if you pull the Prideful pack, this is what you get. You can see you get a group of creatures that are all cat soldiers, cat cleric, cat, an artifact that has, cat related art in it. It's a themed group of cards that fits the color, but also has a more specific theme, in this case, cats. You can see here's a kind of unicorn horse theme, where you can see you have a Pegasus, a bunch of unicorns in here as well. Some horses are also included here, and it just goes on as you go through it. Like there'll be like goblins in like red, and so on, as you go through the theme. So Avatar getting a Jumpstart set, you can see the idea of, okay, they're going to break down the colors, I guess, into, they're going to put the elements and nations into various colors. I'm guessing spirits will be included in here as well, but there also might be some mechanical kind of stuff that gets broken down as well. So this actually should be quite exciting. I'm not sure what way it's going to work with regards to like, is the Jumpstart set, or like the card pool in the Jumpstart set, is that completely different to the Play Booster card pool? Or is it just like a groupings of cards from the Play Booster card pool? Just because it does mean, like, if we do have 2 sets that are like hundreds of cards deep, it's going to make collecting the set actually quite maybe difficult and challenging to a certain degree. I think it's cool they're doing it because it's going to make for a very kind of like easy to jump in and play kind of thing with Avatar. Whereas, as we'll get into with some of the other products, they do have some kind of beginner products as well, but they don't really have set decks at all, with no commander, no starter decks, no welcome decks or anything like that. And that's the interesting kind of aspect to this as well. But still cool, because it does mean you're going to get these kind of other cards, the theme cards for Avatar as well, which we'll see how they do it. So yeah, going back to the list here. So yeah, like I said, we have the different booster boxes there. So that makes sense. The 2 different bundles are pretty obvious. These are what Fat Packs used to be in Magic. The bundle itself is basically, it's 9 packs, a bunch of lands, including some foil lands. So basically you're going to get all the different arts that are available in the set for Avatar lands, including foils. The normal bundle has 1 promo card and like a spin down life counter, and of course there'll be art on the box itself as a kind of collectible thing. The gift bundle, as it says there, is a fancier version of the normal bundle, so you still get 9 play packs, but you also get 1 collector booster. So it's 10 packs, 9 standard play boosters, and then 1 of the really fancy collector boosters. There are 5 promo cards in the gift edition bundle. You also get a kind of track wheel life counter thing, and roughly the same kind of extras. There's like some cardboard extras in here as well. So those 2 make sense as like kind of groupings of cards. In the same kind of vein as those, I suppose, is the pre-release kind of thing. Just in case you maybe haven't seen one of these before, I think we have it in the Spider-Man set. I can probably show off better what this is. Yes, pre-release pack is basically a certain amount of packs. You get a certain amount of kind of promo cards. It's like a built-in deck box and a spin down die. I think specifically this one is slightly different. If I open this up, there's some minor details on these. So with the Avatar pre-release kit, you're going to get 5 play boosters, but you get an elemental pack, a foil card, tokens, and so on. So the elemental pack, I'm guessing, is sort of the equivalent. It's probably a set seeded booster pack that has a certain amount of cards in it. So that's kind of interesting. Because I'm guessing there might be some sort of aspect in like the set where like you really need to go in on at least one of the kind of bending or nations. So maybe this is a way to kind of guarantee you have that much going on. But either way, you can sort of see the idea. That's what it's going to be. It's called a pre-release thing because if you attend your pre-release like the week or two before the set releases, you'll get some packs and you'll be able to play the set before the like official release date. That's what that is. So that's all fine. They're just waiting to get kind of different kind of packs and stuff like that. The scene box here, you'll see from this, the description here, 3 play boosters. So you get some booster packs in this. You get 6 foil cards and 6 scene art cards and a paper display. Again, we'll go back to the Spider-Man thing to highlight what this is. So here's the Spider-Man scene box. So you can see here, it's 3 boosters, it's 3 traditional foil borderless cards, 6 art cards, and the display thing. Specifically what this is this is the Spider-Man set. These are the cards. So you can see they line up perfectly to make this 6 cards together kind of mural kind of style image, which is very cool. And then the art cards is the same piece of art, it's just with the magic text gone, so clean art. So that's a really cool way to do it. So for Avatar to get a scene box, I think it's cool. It's a guaranteed product to get a bunch of full art cards for the set. Whereas if you don't buy some collector boosters or don't do well from your normal boosters, well, you can get at least some of the, I guess, main characters who are going to be included in the whatever the scene image ends up actually being. I'm guessing there, at the very least, will be an Aang. They might do like early series Aang versus Zuko with some other stuff going on. They might do end of series Aang versus Ozai. But again, you have to keep in mind that like the image is going to have to be laid out like this, so there's space for like 6 cards in it, which is interesting. So I think that's actually a really fun one to do because the art for Avatar is obviously going to be a real standout. So people are definitely, I think, going to want to get their hands on that, of course. So I think that's more or less everything except beginner box. Yeah, bundle, gift edition bundle, jumpstart, booster box, and 2 packs. So yeah, the 2 pack for the jumpstart makes sense again because you put 2 packs together to make a deck. So the idea is you get one of them, your friend gets one of them, and you have an instant kind of deck to immediately play against each other. And then of course if you keep the groupings of cards from each pack together, you can just like, oh, let's swap these 2 out, and you kind of make different decks by just swapping out the themes, of course. Next is the beginner box, which as we go in here, it's described as being 200 cards, 5 tokens, reference stuff, how to play, play mats, and so on. What this is I think there's only one previous version of this, and that is from Foundations last year. This is effectively the Avatar replacement for a starter deck set, which is usually just 2 decks, basically. But in this case, because it's a more jumpstart themed set, that's what this is. It's effectively a board game kind of type card game thing where you can see what it is the reason there's 200 cards. There's 10 themed jumpstart decks, and then each of them, of course, has 20 cards. You shuffle any 2 of them together and you play against any other 2. There's some specifics here, like, you know, for instance, it seems like it's a set grouping of cards. This, for instance, isn't from the jumpstart set for Foundations. It's just specific cards, which is interesting. And then the other gimmick that they have here is that they specifically have 2 of the decks and a built-in tutorial where the idea is you don't shuffle the 2 decks, you just play them kind of like as is, and you get a bit of a tutorial game, which is good for like absolute beginners. But I think this will also just be a fun item in general, because it feels like this is sort of almost a replacement for if there are no commander decks. Well, you know, instead of just keeping all the commander decks together, I guess you can play this for more basic fun games. It will really, I think, depend from an Avatar point of view what the themes are and how kind of in-depth they actually go. But you can definitely see the jumpstart theming throughout a lot of this. The thing we didn't really expect is present here in the booster boxes, the 2-pack of jumpstart, and whatever the beginner box will end up being as well. So pretty cool stuff overall. And then there's still room for other stuff that like Wizards, I guess, will more announce themselves, like secret layers that might cover other aspects of Avatar. They could do commander decks through secret layer. We don't know. And then they could just do a kind of wave 2 thing where they want to slightly delay commander decks for whatever reason. We just don't know what the full plan is or scope is. if maybe it is literally a missing product type thing, it maybe is worth kind of mentioning the idea of, well, the release is November. That is 2 months before the previous release date for the movie, which was January. Now, keeping in mind, when the set was probably being planned out, it was still maybe going off the original October release date, October 2025. The movie is now planned for October 2026. Now, I don't really think that's really much of a thing. The set is clearly Magic the Gathering Avatar: The Last Airbender. The movie is Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. So it would be a maybe separate thing. But who knows what way it's all actually going to work. And again, I'm assuming Ultra Pro will have accessories we'll learn about much closer to the actual release of the set. But that is the lineup of products that we're going to have. Immediately, kind of what jumps out to me here is that, like, okay, what am I actually going to be purchasing here? Because I'm already aware going into this that I'm going to be probably picking up a lot of this set through singles. As in, I won't be opening up an incredible amount of packs. So I'm really hesitating over, like, do I want to buy a play booster box? Or do I just go all in on singles? Certainly, the scene box is something I'm going to want to pick up. The beginner box is something I'm going to want to pick up. I'm guessing I will probably pick up both bundles, and that might be the packs that I end up kind of opening. Collector Booster is just going to be way too expensive for myself, and I think a lot of other people. And then with Jumpstart, yeah, I could see myself maybe picking up a few 2-packs of Jumpstart. I don't know if I want to go all in on, you know, just buying a booster box. Again, it's going to depend on what way the unique cards are spread out. Like, are Jumpstart like fully unique cards? It's a whole entire different set, or is it just groupings of cards from the play boosters? That's going to be a really telling thing. Because otherwise, my plan was kind of like, okay, make sure I acquire the commander decks for retail price as early as possible. Well, that's not really in play here. I'm guessing the ones that are going to be most time critical to purchase as soon as possible are probably going to be the bundles. Just because beginner products don't tend to overly sell out. Booster boxes, the standard ones, Jumpstart, shouldn't be like crazy. Collector boosters might be a bit of a thing, depending on how it goes. And then the scene box, I think they'll probably make sure they have enough of that available. So yeah, it probably is kind of bundle, gift edition bundle, and the scene boxes maybe the ones that, like, yeah, when pre-orders eventually go up, like, maybe they're the ones you really need to focus on. But again, it's all about what you want out of the set when it comes out. I want to open up a certain amount of packs, but I don't want to go crazy on it, just because I know that the best kind of financial way to try and collect most of the cards in the set is going to just be buying singles on the, you know, aftermarket of when the set actually comes out. So yeah, there is that. A final piece of news is just that we do have the audiobook preview for City of Echoes. So you can see here on blackstonelibrary.com, the listen button is now available. If you go into it, it is a 2.5 minute clip from chapter 5. Unfortunately, we already have the bit that, like, it shows, because we already have chapter 5 from the Google Books preview. So because it's audio as well, like, it doesn't even cover like that much. It gets to about yeah, I think it gets to around here before it stops. It stops right before Jin is witness to the Zuko jet fight from City of Walls and Secrets. So it's pretty early on in this chapter. There's more covered in the actual text chapter. But I will, again, link this down below if you want to listen to it yourself. It's Nancy Wu, once again, as the narrator for the audiobook. And it's really cool that this is a thing to accompany the release. I think a lot of people forget that there is the audiobook. So this is cool that we actually have the preview here. A little bit unfortunate that just the Google Books preview sort of like encompasses kind of like everything that the preview is. But, you know, we're just waiting for the release at this point, of course. And I will be doing lots of coverage on it when it actually releases, when I can read the book myself. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. We'll have more news coverage, of course, when you know, more of the SDCC schedule comes out and so on. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. What do you think this means for SDCC, if anything? I really think it's kind of irrelevant to what's actually going to be happening at SDCC for the most part, but let me know. What are your thoughts on the currently announced kind of products for Avatar Magic the Gathering, the absence of certain ones, but does the introduction of Jumpstart here interest you? But yeah, let me know below what your thoughts are, but that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.